Army. We're here today with Luke Stone, the creator of Hybrid, the Son of Gods, and the co-creator of Voodoo Nation.
Yeah. Nice. Thanks for having me today, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you. This is probably the first intro I've got correct in a long time.
Yeah. It's been a year since we've talked last, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So Hybrid, we're on issue 6 through 8.
Yeah, we are. Yes, we're fulfilling right now issue 7, and we are getting ready. We're doing signups now for issue 8, and I am in the process of drawing issue 9. So, and oddly enough, I'm writing issue 12 as well. So we've already got 10 and 11 in production. So there's already people working on those books too. So yeah, it's moving right along.
Where do you release them? Every other month?
That's what we're trying. I'm finding that right now, I think that schedule is a little much for people with their kind of the financial situation with folks. So we're slowing down a little bit for them, but we'll be we're working well ahead to get everything done so that we can do a decent release for each one of the books. But yeah, about a month and a half, 2 months is where I'm trying to keep it.
When are you going to collect them in a trade? When you get to issue 10?
We originally did a trade for issues 1 through 5, and then I recently just got signed up with Arrow Comics, and so with Arrow Comics we're re-releasing everything through Arrow, and they're going to be coming out monthly starting the end of August. So, but we did a remaster on issues 1 through 6. So 6 only had like 2 pages that I'm changing, 2 or 3 pages that I'm changing, but everything else is getting kind of this big remaster, this kind of overhaul a bit. And so once we've released issue 5 through Arrow, we're going to go ahead and compile a new trade for issue 5, and then I'm going to do a trade for full trade for the Killing Field at some point, maybe the first of next year, and then we're going to do the last 3 issues, and I'm not sure if I'm going to release those individually or if I'm just going to release those as a trade. I think I'll survey people and find out, because those are going to come out through Arrow as well, monthly into the direct market. So not quite sure yet on that one. We're still filling it out. You know how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is Arrow a publisher or?
Yeah, man. Arrow is so Arrow Comics is the editor-in-chief over there is Randy Zimmerman, and so Arrow started back in the 80s and 90s and did a lot of kind of independent creator-owned comics. They published strictly in black and white up until just this recent reiteration of it. And so yeah, they're a publisher from way back. They came out briefly again during the 2000s with some books, and then as things happen, they didn't have anything to publish, and they stopped publishing for a while. But Randy's bringing it back. He's put it into full swing, and it's the largest catalog that company's ever had in their history right now. Like, they got tons of books. They've got the Hybrids books coming out. They've got Hero Bot Zero, which is really cool. They got a book called Peregrine. They've got one Calico, which is looking really, really good. And these are kind of mostly all ages stuff. And then they got a book I really like is Only Death Can Save Us by Russ Leach. So that book's coming out through Arrow to the American audience. So that's really cool. I mean, yeah, they've got a lot going on, and they keep growing. So it's interesting to be a part of that next step in their legacy.
Oh yeah. Can people request Hybrid Sons of Gods at their comic shop?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Arrow is going to be distributing through Liberty Distribution Group. And so you can just go to if somebody wants it, they can go to their shop owner and say, hey, go over to ledg.us and sign up, and you can get all of those Arrow books, including Hybrids. And they've got this really cool buyback thing where, like, let's say for instance, a shop they've got some books, and one book sells and another one doesn't. They can contact Liberty, and if the book is part of the buyback program, Liberty will buy the book back from you. So, and all the Arrow books are part of that. So yeah, it's basically, it's kind of like this really cool, like a little bit better version of Diamond for indie and underground and alternative books, man. It's kind of neat what they've been doing. Varian's been working on that concept for probably 4 or 5 years. And so finally it's in it's in swing, so it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a hold of them. I know a couple people that would like to get their comic into shops.
Yep. That'd be a good way to do that. I think he's got somewhere like 70, 80 shops already signed up. And that number's growing. Like the more the word gets out, the more shops are signing up because, they're going to get books. He doesn't ship anything unless the books are in his warehouse. So once they're in the warehouse, he ships them. And that's when they can start ordering books. So they get them right away. It's awesome.
All right. So Voodoo Nation 2, where are you going to take us with Bishop Lucas?
Oh man, so this book is a wild ride. It really is. So we do have a third issue coming. Honestly, I haven't read the third issue yet, so I'm waiting for that to get the edits to get done with that. I know Travis has got some big plans, but all of this will culminate. There will be a clash between our antagonist and our protagonist in this series, and so I'm looking forward to that and kind of where that goes. But issue 2 just came out. We are doing a signing at the Collective in Orlando this Wednesday. So if you're in that area, you can come out and check that out. Anybody that's can come out and check that out. We're going to do signings, and then I'll be there doing sketch covers and things like that. I think I'll have some books. I'll have hybrids with me as well while I'm there, so people can check that out and maybe grab a copy of that. But this next issue I'm really proud of it. I think it's some of my best art, honestly, Cody. I worked really hard on this book. This is set a lot in New Orleans. So like everything is kind of right there in the French Quarter. And I really wanted to make the town kind of a character. I wanted to make New Orleans kind of a character in and of itself, that atmosphere and that feel. So I really worked to try to do that, And there was even a part where Travis had written in this bar, and he wanted, and it was like, it was the one thing that was supposed to be kind of easy. I could make it look more modern and things like that. But it didn't feel right to draw that kind of modern architecture and stuff right in the middle of the French Quarter. So I went with all of the kind of the old stuff, laid it down, all that kind of difficult detail, laid all that stuff down, and set this bar kind of against that and try to get that feel and that vibe in there. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. I think it's a pretty good book. So hopefully everybody else thinks so too.
Yeah, we can't wait to read it and review it. My co-host and wife, she loves the book. She loved issue 1.
Great. I love hearing that. I love hearing that.
Yeah, I haven't read it myself yet, but I like the art.
Well, thank you.
You did a great job with the art.
Appreciate that.
So as a pastor in your day job, does your congregation know about your comic book?
They do, actually. They are actually very supportive of it. In fact, one of the guys from our church is in the Hybrids book. So the character Danny, that's a real person. You can actually come meet Danny. And the funny part is, the only difference is he doesn't have an eye patch. Like, I just put the eye patch on because I'm like, well, how can I make Danny cooler? I'm like, maybe an eye patch would work. And so, but that character is pretty much him. It's pretty much spot on. When I started writing that book, I was like, man, these characters really need like that kind of guide by the side person in the book. And so I went to Danny. I said, dude, I would love to just put you in this book. I said, would you have a problem with that? And he goes, not at all. And so, yeah. So the congregation, they know about it. Many of them buy the books. They're fans of the storytelling. A lot of it's allegorical, so I try to tell a story within a story. There's always that kind of that layered nuance to it, and so I think they enjoy it. At least some of them do.
All right. Let's see. Do you do art commissions?
I do. I try to do art commissions as often as I can. Things get kind of busy sometimes with like Voodoo Nations and hybrids, and it's difficult to do that. And I've got some other stories that I'm writing and trying to produce. We've got one called Juror 13, which is getting ready to go into production. We've got one called Rift Riders going into production. And then, I'm working on another one called Runner that's in production. And so pretty exciting, trying to get all that stuff going. It can really eat up the time. But I'll do like a pinup or a cover or, things like that when time allows. and occasionally I'll take on a full project. Like I'll do like a full book, but those are rare these days because of the number of books that I'm already drawing and working on. So, but I do commissions, and obviously if the price is right, right?
Yeah. And I know you've got merch. We was talking about the busts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I do merch. I've always been I come from like independent rock like bands, like the kind of that life. That's where I started stuff with, So, and if you know anything about indie bands, merch is everything because you're playing for free. The only way you make money is off your merch. Well, I just can't get away from merch. I love it. I love stickers. I love patches. I love bracelets, t-shirts, hats. So over on my website, there's like a whole list of different like merch stuff. And then I'm getting ready to start adding all the books and stuff in digital format. And then you can buy physical stuff and things also from there. We did now I'm doing an action figure. And so we've got a couple of special edition action figures. But yeah, so we designed these busts. I don't know, you can see it right there. And so we've got a large one and a small one because I thought, how cool would that be to have like this kind of statue of one of my characters, and so we kind of added that into the merch thing, and yeah, I'm just so I could kind of go nuts with it, I just can't stop, man. I've got a problem.
Are you going to do bust for all of the characters or just?
Good question. I'm going to do them for most of the character, if not all of the characters. So each character is going to have. I'm working with the sculptor now who does the 3D sculpting. His name is Roberto Bolano. I think I'm saying that right. But Roberto is going to he's doing the bust, and then he's going to add the legs. And so we're going to do a full statue of each character. And then from there, we're going to turn that into an action figure. So we're going to do like a 5-point articulation action figure off of that. Not the same action figure that we just did for the special edition Trash Man, but we're going to do another version, something that's more kind of kid can play with version. It doesn't come apart as easy. So that's what we're looking to do. So yes, every character is going to get a bust, a statue, and an action figure. And the plan is that the base of the action figures are going to be able to interlock with the not action figures, but the statues will interlock with the other statues so that you can kind of make your own diorama of all the characters and put them how you want to on there. So yeah, it'd be pretty fun.
What's the price points for those? Do we have?
Yeah, so we're looking at our small bust. We're putting those at $20, and we're going to try to include shipping in them. I'm trying to find a way to be able to do that price with shipping. I'm not able to do that yet because I haven't found a way to bring the boxes and stuff like that. I have to buy a whole bunch to do that. But so we're looking at $20 for that, $50 for the larger bust. If I do the full color, where it's like the traditional colors, we're looking at probably a little bit more than that, like $15 more per $15 or $20 more per character to do that. That's for the bust. Then for the full statues, those are going to be in full color. They're not going to be bronzed or anything like what I just showed you. We're going to do the traditional painting of those, and those are going to be right now we're looking at possibly the price point for those are going to be around $100, $120 a piece. So that's what we're looking at for the statues right now. So
okay.
That's what we're trying to keep it in anyway, materials and stuff, it all changes that stuff, but we're getting really close to being able to nail down the price points on those. So I'm pretty excited about that.
All right. And these are going to launch on your website, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have them on the website here. I'm trying to produce a few of them so that I have some in stock to ship right away for orders and then try to keep up on that. I'm working with a guy he's got a print farm, what they call 3D print farm. And so he's got a whole bunch of 3D printers, and so he can print mass numbers of them faster than what I can. We're also I'm looking into resin casting, like doing casts and things like that. So trying to find ways to speed up the process and keep the cost as low as possible for people. So at the end of the day, I just really want people to have the stuff in their homes and be able to enjoy it. I think that's being able to engage with the characters outside of the comic book is really important for me. I think that's why I do the whole merch thing so much. Because I want people to be able to enjoy that stuff, and go by and say, oh, that's Trash Man and that's cool, that's kind of that kind of stuff.
Are you going to do a little mini bust of yourself?
No, probably not. No, I probably won't.
Okay.
I'll let some crazed fan do that.
All right.
I'll stay away from the from all that um, that silliness.
All right. I guess, is there any shout outs that you got before we go?
Well, I've already shouted out Arrow Comics, and then Liberty Distribution. Those two companies are really killing it, doing some great things. If you follow me on social media, you probably saw some photos of these like this big pallets of books that we got. I'm talking where thousands of books are going to the warehouse. We'll be in the warehouse next week, man. Next week they'll be there, ready to go, so people can start ordering. And as soon as they start ordering, they start shipping. And it's just but we did do a limited run, and so we've already got a large number of those books pre-sold. So if people are out there and watching, they want this in their comic shop, they just need to go and say, hey, go ahead and order these, because the first printing will be out pretty quickly, we hope. And so yeah, that's it. And I just like to remind people that comics are fun, and you should have fun doing it. We've I've been working on this hybrids thing for a while, and it's you're familiar with the book, because you've read them, and a few other people are familiar with the books. But the best way I like to describe it is, it's the Chris Claremont era X-Men, and it meets ancient aliens, and kind of conspiracy theory and legend and stuff like that. So it's kind of this big conglomerate, but it's fun. And the whole idea about it is to have fun and just kind of enjoy comics, and not take things so serious. I mean, they used to call these the funny books. And it wasn't really it wasn't that long ago that we started getting really serious about comics. And I think sometimes we can just, people that make them, people that read them, we can just take ourselves too serious. And I think it's, time to have fun with it, enjoy it, be able to laugh at it. There's this great panel from one of the latest Supergirls where she had a pimple and she popped it. And it's everywhere. And so people start having a hard time with that. I'm like, why? That's hilarious. Like, think about it. It's like that's what the comic books used to be. It used to be funny books. So, so I try to encourage people just to have fun, and then try to leave the industry in a better place than you found it. Be good to each other, and just leave the woodpile higher than you find it. So that's usually my thing that I try to leave people with.
Try to help the next man.
Yeah. You never know when the next awesome thing is going to happen. It might be you, it might not be you, but to be able to be a part of it in that process is always fun. It's always fun.
All right. Where can people find you on social medias?
Oh, simple. All you got to do is go to lukestonestudios.com, and I have all of my links to social media over there. The only one that I haven't got on there, I started posting videos on what's that, TikTok. I don't actually but it's like I just take pictures and stuff like that and do little videos. I don't do any of those weird rants, and I'm not, what do they call that, duetting with like somebody else's dance or anything. I'm not doing any of that stuff. That's not for me, man. That's not for me. But so you can go to lukestonestudios.com, and you can find all my other social media links, and you can find links to the Indiegogo campaigns. You can find my store, so things that I've got up on the store right now. If you happen to have your own 3D printer, I do sell the STL files for the busts, so that you can purchase those and print those yourself. So yeah, we've got all that kind of stuff over there. So lukestonestudios.com would be a fun place for you to hang out. There's some Easter eggs over there. You've got, if you dig deep enough, you can find some of my photography that I've done. It started out as my photography website, believe it or not, Cody. It was nice. Yeah. So then I stopped. I moved here, and I realized that most people that want photography is like weddings, and I hate to do weddings. I hate doing weddings. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that anymore. So I just turned it into a comic book website for doing all my illustrations. And then I have some music up there that I've done, so you can hear some of that too. So
we should get Trash Man to crash a wedding in like a couple panels or two.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Yeah. That'd be hilarious. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Luke.
Hey, thanks a lot, Cody. Thanks for having me on.
Oh yeah,
it's fun to hang out with you.
Yeah. We gotta get you back sooner and not wait another year.
Yeah, let's not wait a year for that. Let's get back with the let's get back with the next book for certain.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comic Chat Authority? Oh, come on. Subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.